Hey, what's up DIYers? Mike Bors with the Mike Bors channel. Thank you for watching. We're talking toilets today, and in today's video, we're going to show you how to remove a toilet that is actually grouted to your tile floor. Let's get started. All right, DIYers, inside the bathroom now, and there is our elongated toilet, and it is grouted to the tile floor. As you can see here, we're going to show you how to properly and safely remove this. First thing we're going to do, come to the back side. You have got your water shutoff valve. By turning it clockwise, you can actually close the valve and cut all the water from traveling through the valve and into the line and into the bottom portion of the tank. Next, what we'll do is flush the toilet. We are going to push down on the handle and hold. And I recommend holding this for about 5 to 6 seconds. You want as much of that water out of the bowl as possible. And from here, what we'll do is open up the lid, and we'll go grab a sponge and bucket and sponge out the remaining water inside the bowl. However, before we do that, you'll know that your shutoff valve is fully closed when you cannot flush the toilet anymore and the tank itself is not filling up with water. At this point, I've got the bucket and sponge, and DIYers, you can do what you want to. However, for us, this is a one-time use only sponge because it's going in the toilet. So bought this from Ace Hardware for $2.99. Sponge is removed from the packaging, and all I'm going to do is remove as much of this water in the bowl as possible and into the bucket. Make progress, get as much of that water out of the bowl as possible. From here, we are going to remove the top cap of the tank and sponge out any and all remaining water inside the tank. Cap of the tank is off. I set that aside, and again, just removing the remaining water inside the tank. And we do this because we are going to have to remove the lower water line. And if we don't drain this out or sponge this out, all that water is going to leak out that lower line right there. That took about 3 minutes to get all that water out of the tank. And what I like to do next is take that sponge and push it down inside the toilet, because when I remove this from the lower flange and remove it from the house, that'll help water from leaking out. Go and close the toilet seat and come down below. We are now going to remove the water line from your water valve and grab an adjustable wrench, unscrew and remove that portion of your hose. And it might leak a little bit of water. That's why I've got the towel. And a little bit's coming out. And that's normal. And I've changed plans. I'm actually going to leave this original line connected to the bottom portion of the toilet, and when I remove the toilet and throw it away, this line is going with it. I will take a picture of the sizes here. As you can see, 3/8 by 7/8. That's very important. And this is a 12-inch line. I might actually get a smaller line. Next, direct your attention to the caps. You got one on each side. I've got a plastic scraper, and I'm going to carefully remove each cap. Inside, you've got a nut that secures the toilet to the lower flange. We are going to size that up and remove this nut and the opposite side nut. And after sizing this nut up, it is a 7/16, and go ahead and remove both this nut and the opposite side nut. In addition, go ahead and take off this plastic cap here. Set that aside. And you've got a washer right here, and you can actually use your paint scraper to get underneath it and pry it up. And there's that, and one additional washer. To the opposite side, and that one was a little more stubborn than the other side. What I had to do once I removed this cap, this actual nut got all the way to the top and then was pretty tight, and this entire bolt here was spinning. So I had to take this little plastic scraper and shift that bolt to the side and apply some friendly pressure and remove that with that socket. All right, DIY, stepping back, and now the part that we are all wondering about. We are going to see how conveniently and easily this toilet will separate from the tile and the grout. And I've got a trash bag positioned. I'll show you why here shortly. However, I'm going to reposition the camera. And the way we are going to do this is grab our left arm and hand right here underneath this portion, and our right hand here, and we are going to teeter-totter the toilet back and forth and hopefully break the seal without harming any portion of the floor. Stepping back, and DIYers, that went a lot smoother than I thought it would. And as far as the trash bag, here's what I did. Positioned it in a way where I could wrap the base of the toilet and also feed that water line in, and it is a tight fit. and I'm going to alleviate water from dripping as I transport this out of the house. However, back to the inner flange, and we need to remove all of that wax. I now have a trash can in hand, and do your absolute best not to drop any of this wax in your plumbing. That would not be good. Get all of it out of there and in the trash. And for us, this is a one-time use plastic scraper, and you are going to just carefully remove all of that wax from your flange. Again, not allowing any of that wax to go down in your plumbing. And again, DIYers, one-time use. And once you get all that wax off the flange, you can toss that. Inspect your flange. In the event that this is cracked or broken, you need to replace that. The last thing you want to do is install a brand new toilet and secure it to a broken flange. Next, what we'll do is carefully remove these bolts, and in most cases, they will be shifted in this little slot here. You can shift them down and turn them until you can pull them out. And that is how they are shaped. And again, pull both of them out. Continuing on, we are now going to scrape away all of that remaining grout. But before we do that, we're going to use painter's tape, and we are going to tape over the plumbing or sewer line for really two reasons. Number one, I don't want any of these shavings of the grout going in the plumbing. And number two, now that our plumbing is wide open, the sewer gases can actually come up into the house and make you sick. You don't want to breathe that in. Plumbing or sewer line is taped over. We are now going to chisel. I've got a couple different options. I'll start with my old Craftsman chisel, and I'll do my best not to gouge the tile as I do this, and this is coming up extremely well. Making progress, and one of my worries as I'm doing this is I was curious if all this grout was used to level the previous toilet, and all my worries are gone because this floor is level, which is great. Making progress, you might run into this also. Little pieces of tile were cut in the beginning and they go underneath the flange to level the flange. However, the grout, when I remove it, the tile comes out with it. So I'm going to carefully pop these small portions of the tile out of the grout and place them back underneath the actual flange to keep that solid base in between the flange and the floor. And all I'll do is continue cleaning up and vacuuming. All chiseled up and vacuumed away, we will now remove the old toilet from the house. Next, I took the toilet outside and I grabbed an additional trash bag and wrapped the top portion. It is basically sealed shut. I'm going to now lift this up and put it in the truck and drive it to our local junkyard. And I've already talked to them. They are only going to charge me $11 to take this toilet off my hands. From here, DIYers, I hope this helps. Hey, do us a favor, below the video, you will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We would really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. And one more thing, DIYers, scrolling above right now is a link to a video that shows us installing our brand new toilet in that exact location we just removed this old one. Definitely check that out. You might find it helpful.